OscoPoker.net World 10-Pin Masters. Now 16 of the world's finest bowlers have taken to the lane, but after the first round only half remain. Now the pressure is on for our bowlers who are warming up behind me because of that $70,000 prize pool. Let's look at the draw so far.
8 players left in at the quarter-final stage. Each match still played over 2 games with the player with the higher points aggregate going through. Defending champion Chris Barnes of the USA takes on Palermaa of Finland in a moment. Players from Australia, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, England and Malaysia all still in contention.
The crowd are cheering them on, but with a fierce round of quarter-finals, they all need to concentrate and work the lane to get that place in the semi-final. But tonight we'll see Chris Barnes and Palermaa head-to-head in our first quarter-final.
I'm Chris Barnes from the USA. I'm bowling Palermaa, who's the owner of probably one of the 2 strongest strike balls in the world.
Hi, I'm Palermaa from Finland, and I'm going to be playing against Chris Barnes from the USA.
The first time I saw him was in the US Open, and the first thing you think of with a 2-handed player is all that power and speed that they take advantage of easy lane conditions. But the US Open's the hardest lane condition we bowl on all year long. And he made the show there, and he was 18 then. That was about 3 years ago.
Well, of course, it's a tough competitor. He plays on PBA. He's one of the best. So it's going to be a tough match.
I think it's a toss-up. It's 50-50. I bowled really good. I have a good look this week, but he does too. So whoever catches the extra break is probably going to be the winner.
The format is so short, 2 games. The condition isn't that hard, so it's going to be 50-50.
Well, it's not the final, but it could be. This really is the big one. But this man, it's not really that much you can say that hasn't already been said about Chris Barnes. 37 years of age, just has a phenomenal record in the game. Beat Zara Glover from England in the first round, and he epitomises for me what is a true professional sportsman. Forget professional bowler, this guy is a professional sportsman, and he goes about his business in an incredible fashion.
19 strikes and 5 spares, and the important thing is obviously those no open frames. Scored an aggregate score of 524 in his first round match against Zara.
Well, them's the stats that pay the bills, I guess, Cass.
Well, absolutely, yeah. Having said that, Chris plays on the PBA Tour in the United States, and he is the youngest player ever to go through the $1 million prize money mark. He's the reigning World 10-Pin Masters champion, defending champion.
Well, I think what we'll see from Barnes, quick adjustments, usually successful adjustments, and that's what keeps him in matches even if he isn't playing well. If he's playing well, then you know what you've got to do as his opponent. You've got to keep striking, full stop. But this man's perfectly capable of that. Palermaa, just 23 years of age, from Espoo in Finland. Not far off, 15 strikes, 5 spares, but those 2 open frames. And they can be telling, but this is a new game. New start, clean slate for both players. And, well, we'll say it again, Cass, we can't call it. I wonder if anyone at home can.
It will be interesting to see in the next 45-50 minutes. We'll know the result. Now, one of these players will be in the semi-final.
It's an astonishing power that Palermaa possesses. And I guess what we do know is that Palermaa on form, and Chris Barnes maybe just a touch below par. Well, it could be Palermaa.
I'm not even going to go there. Let's just wait and see.
I'm trying to make you jump off that fence, but you're refusing.
Absolutely, on games like this, as I say, it just shows the standard that of the players in this World 10-Pin Masters.
Well, the practice
of the world.
Practice balls are over. They're just a quick re-rack from Bernie White, our match referee. Well, the crowd out in force. Everybody has stayed on for this one.
Shake hands, gentlemen. Wish you good luck. Good bowling.
Bernie White getting to shake hands with a couple of the world stars that he loves to watch play. Really enjoys what he calls his privileged position here as the tournament official at this World 10-Pin Masters. Gets ringside seats for some of the best shows that you're ever going to see on a 10-pin bowling lane. Chris Barnes then versus Palermaa in this quarter-final. Best score at the end of 2 games through to the semis. Solid chattering its way down across the boards. Shows you the amount of revs that Barnes gets on it.
Yeah, this was a bad opening shot, was it? Through 400 revolutions a minute, hits the 1-3 pocket and rips the rack. All 10 pins are gone. Great shot from there from our wide-angled camera.
Still not happy, and that's what makes him so good. Always room for improvement. That's as far as Chris Barnes is concerned. Palermo then. Gauntlet's been thrown down already for the young Finn. Straight through the head pin, smashes his way down there, but unfortunately not through the pocket.
Yes, the big two-handed delivery. Lots of rotation ball, lots of power and speed, but you have to be in the pocket with this type of ball. Otherwise you can leave all sorts of weird and wonderful combinations. Now he's going to get his hard spare ball out. Fingers in, no thumb. Lots of rotation and quite a simple spare on the left-hand side of the lane.
Yeah, we'll sometimes see Oscar bowling his spares one-handed. Got a little party piece that he likes to bring out now and again. He tries to bounce the pin back out and down the lane. But I got a funny feeling he's not going to be doing that much. It's all about the business today, and he's got to do the business against this man. Chris Barnes working a strike, defending World 10-Pin Masters champion. He's in already.
I'm about to say in there like swim there, but I won't. It's not my line. And that puts Palermo under pressure already, and it's only frame 2. Two fantastic shots from Barnes. Absolutely rips the rack. Mentally locked in, having just a little few words to say to himself there. Keeping focused.
Well, we haven't seen his little pat on the back that he sometimes gives himself for the cameras, but that'll come out soon. Still plenty of work to be done. Palermo then, off the back of that spare. Looks a touch nervous, does Palermo, and that can act in a number of ways against a player. Sometimes it helps you, but I think it's hindering Palermo here. He's got a lot of adrenaline coursing through those veins, and he's going at this like a bull in a china shop, if you'll pardon the pun.
I don't know if these two have met at all, head-to-head, singles match, ever before, but it's certainly something that Palermo will remember. Coming head-to-head with a player that Paul Moore describes as one of the best on the planet, Chris Barnes.
Two spares then for Palermo to open up, and no exchange of high or low fives as they pass each other. That's interesting.
It's the serious end of the tournament when the winner goes to the semi-final. There's some serious money to be picked up for the winner here, and obviously the chance to progress.
Yeah, plenty of time to slap hands after the game, I guess, Cass. Barnes then working a double.
Will naturally be looking for a 3 in a row, so he's not going to rush himself. Get himself totally lined up.
Enough said.
Enough said, Simon. Absolutely. Three pretty perfect strikes. Just lofted a little bit down the lane on that shot, but fantastic reaction and right in the right place.
Well, the fans will follow these guys in the Weber Cup, the European and the American bowlers, that is. They'll certainly keep track of them on the internet throughout the year, and here in Barnsley they've got a chance to see them, and that's the line Barnes has picked. And funnily enough, that's the line he's going to stick with if he can help it.
Well, if it's successful for 3 frames, he'll hope it will be successful for...
Go on, 10. You nearly said it. Go on.
24 frames.
Good work. Palermo's in. Crowd like it. They want to see a match here. They don't want to see Palermo in trouble and playing catch-up. 590 revs. That's the average for Palermo at the moment, and that... Well, to me, that shows, Cass, that I think he's just a bit revved up.
Oh, absolutely, Simon. I love that one. You must have been thinking about that one for ages.
Just a few hours.
But, yeah, that time he hit the pocket, and, of course, with a rev rate like that, he's going to carry all 10 pins.
Barnes looking good, though, at the start of the match. This for a 4-bagger. There it goes. Well, he deserved that one. Just a touch of luck, but it's funnier. The more he practices, the luckier he gets.
That one actually got down a bit early on the lane, didn't it? just came off his hand nice and early, got into a very early roll and was slightly high on the headpin, leaving the 4-9 split and tripping them both. Oh, shut them down, didn't he? Makes 4 strikes in a row. And that's just a little bit of luck that you may need if you're going to progress into the semi-finals of this tournament.
Palermo. Got to respond here, needs a double. He's got a double. Well, I think this is going to turn into the match that we always thought it was going to be. An absolute stunner of an encounter. But it always needed both the actors to play their parts to the full. And now Palermo's joined the show. It's game on.
Not only is there a place in the first semi-final for the winner of this match, the opposition will be either Jason Belmonte or Badra El Sheikh. And it can't get much better, can it?
There is nowhere to hide at the World 10-Pin Masters. And a 10-pin left by Barnes, just a touch light in the pocket. But I think I ought to wash my mouth out with soap. You can't criticise Chris Barnes.
You cannot criticise Chris Barnes, the man that 2 years ago won 2 major tournaments in the United States before he came to the UK to win the Masters, and actually won $330,000 in 12 days, would you believe?
Well, he came up with that lovely quote, didn't he? He said, it's amazing how loose your arm swings when you've just won 300 grand.
It's nice work if you can get it. Takes the spare away and fine style. Yeah,
Palermo's got a chance, hasn't he? He's got a chance. Got to take it though. Needs the turkey. There's that spare. Chris Barnes sticks out like a sore thumb, doesn't it? But it's still great bowling.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Again, Chris is getting the ball down nice and early on the lane, getting it into an early roll. Just playing that oil line just around sort of 14, 15 ball and just sailing to the pocket. Really looking good.
Bang, there we go. Palermo on a turkey, so that's great work from him. 3 strikes in a row. Not quite matching the 4 of Chris Barnes, who'll be looking to get straight back into that pocket. He's stuck with his rev rates though, he's stuck with the ball speed. And he's just found the line that he's been searching for.
Yeah, he made the pocket again, carried all 10. That's where he's playing. Look, around about 19, 20 board. Right to the outside of the lane, almost what we could call coast to coast.
He's going deep, isn't he?
Absolutely deep. Chris a lot straighter. Just turns up nicely and he's back on 10. What a great shot that was in frame 6.
This is just a joy to commentate. This must be a joy to watch. 2 great technicians, 2 of the world's very best.
Well, this could be a world final in any tournament, any bowling tournament. 2 of the greatest players that you will see on television. Barnes is consistent as ever. His last 3 shots, absolute identical speed. Only carried 2 strikes, unfortunately. Gives Palermo the chance to make it back, working on 3 in a row.
No, can't turn it into 4, and once again problems with that line.
Yeah, just rode up a little bit high on the headpin. Again, we saw that 4-9 split standing there for the right-hander. Manages to trip the 4-pin out with the messenger. Yeah, just missed his mark slightly, and that's why the ball rode up high on the headpin. Needs to make the spare, and does.
Okay, still in it. The problem is we saw Barnes strike it off the card the other day. He always seems to finish strong.
Well, the gap opens up. It's 21 pins to Barnes, and a man like Chris won't let that sort of lead get away. He'll obviously want to increase it. Takes himself a re-rack. He's looked down the lane. Wasn't quite happy with the pins on spot as they were, so he's allowed to take a re-rack. Bernie White's on the case, just checking that everything's okay.
How many re-racks allowed, Cass?
Well, normally in tournament it's 2. I'm not quite sure what the situation is. Bernie's the boss down on the lane. Obviously he's happy with the setup now. There's 10 pins standing in a triangle. And Chris Barnes is standing up for frame number 7 with that 21-pin lead and working on a strike.
There's a double. So a 4-bagger and a double. 25 strikes overall in this tournament so far for Chris Barnes.
It's nice to see how he keeps this ball nice. It's pretty straight down the lane, is it? Whereas Oscu's beaming it left to right, coast to coast. Chris is very much down and in. Lots of rotation. Keeps it nice and tight. And keeping himself out of trouble as well. That could have so easily been 7 in a row.
Still on for a nice 5-7-9 potential. At the end of those 2 games, that's the important score. That's the one that'll take you through. Better pocket hit this time from Palermo, and there's so much mix on the pins from him. The carry's just tremendous.
Oh, it's horrendous power. It really is. Left the 10-pin standing for a sort of a nanosecond before the messenger came across, but that wasn't needed because the 6-pin took it out as well. Just watch this. There's the 6-pin and the messenger at the same time. It's a double whammy he's gone for. Makes himself a strike, frame 7.
Well, he's certainly feeling the heat. He's feeling the heat under these lights. You can tell Palermo is really psyched for this. And there's the strike rate so far for Palermo, not quite up where he'd like it. And his overall spare conversions as well, just letting you know that he's left 2 open frames. Not a problem though for Chris Barnes. He's been a lot tidier. Makes it a turkey. So a 4-bagger and a turkey so far in this opening game.
Our computer-aided tracking system tells us that Chris has only had a 2-board spread over the 8 shots that he's played, which means it's within an inch either way, every single shot almost in the same place. Also that Oscu has had a 4-board spread. He's had a couple of errant shots that have gone high through the head pin. Even so, he's had 4 strikes. Frame 8 coming up. He's working on a single strike. We'll be looking for the double. Barnes has just hit the turkey.
Double it is for Palermo. Well, he's shown flashes of brilliance, but really got tripped up by those 2 spares in the opening 2 frames of this game. And it's been catch-up ever since then, and he just hasn't got that run of strikes that he needs. He's got to be up in the 5, 6, 7s if he's going to compete with Barnes.
The difference remains at 21 pins as Chris stands up for the foundation frame. Here you can see the deep inside angle that Oscar's shooting. 4th arrow, out to 2nd arrow in the 10th board, and back to the pocket. Real high swinging ball. Lots of power, lots of speed. Such a contrast from Barnes.
A very deliberate shot from him. Didn't look a lot wrong with that, but the 10 pins left again. That troublesome 10.
Yes, every shot in the pocket so far.
I'm just trying to think, Cass, if we've actually seen Chris Barnes leave anything but a 10 when he has had to spare.
Can't think of at the moment.
A bit like Paul Moore leaving the 8, really. It just happens time and time again if it is going to happen at all.
Through the 200 barrier goes Chris Barnes.
Bit of play acting from the crowd there. Never in danger.
Well, he didn't think so, did he? Hard and straight.
Oh, just hung on.
Straight as a gun barrel that was, wasn't it? Yeah, you can hear it.
So 5-5-8 now, the potential overall score. But he's on for a 2-5-8 game in this opening encounter. Palermo, if he strikes out from here, he's also on for 2-5-8, so it's not as big a gap as you might think.
Oh, can we have a tie?
Oh, no, we can't. Sorry about that.
Absolutely, rings that 9-pin in the pocket. Just so much power going through between that 1 and the 3-pin. The ball has cut its way through and missed the 9-pin totally, and that's why it's standing there. A strike there would have closed the gap to just 11 pins, but it's not to be.
So 2-3-7 now, the maximum that Palermo can make. Spares in the foundation frame. That's not what he was looking for. Now, what has Barnes got? Can he maintain the pressure? It's not all over yet, and Palermo reacting quite fiercely there. Business end then of this first game. Barnes to see if he can make it happen once more. He's had a four-bagger, he's had a turkey, and that's not a bad opening effort.
The difference remains 21 pins, but that's a 4-6 split.
Gonna be open, isn't it?
That will be an open frame, yes. Oh dear, where did he go wrong there? That one really rode up high, didn't it?
Well, I'll have to take the blame for that one, saying that the only thing we ever leave, or Chris Barnes ever leaves, is a 10-pin.
Looks to me as they might have thrown it out just a little bit wider than normal and got a better reaction or overreaction in the back end, which sent it high on the headpin. Spare for a 235. Open for 235.
So Barnes has got a few things to think about before he comes out again, and he's going to have plenty of time to think about it as well, because Palermo is going to, well, he hopes have the deliveries to knock off this first game, and then he will be the bowler that opens up in the second game. So Barnes is going to be away from the lane for a couple of minutes now.
You know, I think Chris has just realised that possibly the lane's changed him in the last couple of frames, and especially on that last shot. I mean, even a spare and a strike, they would have been good, but an open frame at that time, just what he didn't want. Gives Oscar the chance to shoot 3 strikes and go through 237 and lead after one game. What a turnaround that was.
Well, I like that from Oscar. He's just taken his time. He's let the great man sit for a while. Oh, but it hasn't quite paid off. Needed a strike to really back that initial plan up. So needs a spare for the bonus.
Yeah, a strike on that bonus would give 226. And he'll be trailing by 9. But that's acceptable.
It ain't over, is it?
It certainly isn't. 9 pins down against Chris Barnes after one game is no mean feat. And he'll certainly be in play for game number 2.
Good work.
Spare earns himself a bonus ball in the 10th frame.
Wants a strike here.
He's certainly working up a sweat, isn't he? Under these television lights and the pressure that Barnes is putting on him. Probably one of the biggest matches that young Oscar's ever played on a bowling lane. He is the reigning World Cup champion. Should be used to some pressure, but then Chris Barnes alone brings pressure.
Oh no, 10-pin stays. Standing to attention, not a huge difference in the final score, 225 instead of 226. It's a 10-pin difference at the end of our first game, and this match is still very much alive. Palermo still living with Barnes.
Only a 10-pin difference between Palermo and Barnes. The pressure is really getting to our players. Find out who makes it through to the semi-final after the break. Welcome back to the PartyPoker.net World 10-Pin Masters. Tonight the legend Chris Barnes is up against Oscar Palermo, and things are really hotting up in the lane. Let's get back to the action.
Well, maybe a touch closer than quite a few people expected, Cass, but there was always that potential, wasn't there, for Palermo to stay with Barnes.
Well, it was the big open frame in frame number 10, the 4-6 split, which cost Chris. Took him down to from 250 down to 230. So that's what we'll be looking to do. Have no open frames. If he can strike and hit the pocket as well as he did, he should be safe, but it's just so tight to call, isn't it?
Hold on to your seats, here we go again. Palermo demolishes the first frame, and I do mean demolish.
Yeah, power and rotation in the 1-3 pocket. Demolition job on those pins.
God dear, well, he's really fizzed that one down. We hear from our stats man Andy Penny, he's just put that ball down at 613 revs per minute.
Pretty high.
But a strike's a strike is a strike, and Barnes responds.
Absolutely, yes, back on his normal line. Tight and straight, just a little bit of rotation at the end. And that'll do for me. All he wants to do is keep that there for another 11 shots. He'll be the winner and we'll have a 300 game.
Cass Edwards breaking ranks early on the 300 game prediction. Palermo then looking to work this strike.